Is this you? Hiding in a corner, one hand gripping your M4 until your knuckles turn white, the other knuckle deep in your rectum. Too scared to move and frightened of destroying your precious kill-death ratio. Don't worry buddy, I got you. What's up guys, it's Average Joel, making average content for the average viewer. And today, I thought I'd do a more up-to-date tips video. Modern Warfare, how to get better. So I want to give you guys a few little tips that might help you along the way and make the next season of Modern Warfare the one that you shine in. Now, before I get too far into this video, I would like to address something. In my last Modern Warfare video, I had a comment from this chap here asking me if I can tone down my sexual jokes in my future videos. So, this one's for you, buddy. What do a pork pie and an old lady's vagina have in common? Give up? I'll tell you. You have to bite the crust off and lick the jelly out before you get to the meat. How's that one for you, pal? So before we get on with it, I'd like to see if we can hit 40 likes on this video. And if you enjoy crude, questionable humour alongside some decent tips and Modern Warfare content, then hey, why not subscribe? So, here we are, 5 tips for Modern Warfare, how to get better. And if you stick around to the end, there's a juicy bonus one in there for you too. I know, I'm far too kind. Let's get on with it, shall we? Number 1. Forget about stats. Now for us gamers, there isn't much in this world that we hold more dear than our precious in-game stats. It has been said time and time again that Call of Duty kill-death ratio has a direct correlation to penis size. And not only that, but legend has it that if you tell a Whammon gamer that your KD is above 3.5 in Modern Warfare, then apparently you won't be able to hear a response due to the sounds of waves crashing in her vagina. But no, seriously, this could be said for any Call of Duty, but in Modern Warfare, more than ever, statistics do not mean a thing. The problem is that with skill-based matchmaking in this game, no matter what you do, you will always be pushed towards having a kill-death ratio closer to 1. The only way to negate this is by sitting in a corner doing your best impression of a lamp, and if you're playing like that, chances are that your score per minute will suffer. So the best thing that you can do if you really want to improve is run around more, take more gunfights, and learn the hard way. Besides, what good is a high KD from camping when as soon as someone challenges you to a 1v1 on Rust next week, you choke and go 2 to 24. Number 2. Hardware. Look, I know this isn't going to be something that a lot of you want to hear, but hear me out. It is the God's honest truth. Your controller matters. Which brings me on to a word from my sponsor, Scuff Gaming. Just kidding. To my knowledge, Scuff haven't actually ever sponsored a creator who compares elderly ladies' genitalia to a porky, meaty pastry treat, but a man can dream, can't he? But seriously, if you're playing on a stock Xbox or PS4 pad, then you are really putting yourself at a disadvantage. I personally use the Xbox Elite controller, and yes, I know I'm not exactly a pro gamer, MLG, snorting lines of G Fuel athlete, but I cannot express how much it has improved my game. Just simple things like being able to jump around corners and landing in a slide whilst keeping your thumb on the right stick give you such an advantage, it's ridiculous. But I get it if these controllers are expensive, so the very least that you should do is invest in a pair of Control Freaks. For those of you who don't know, these are little clips that you clip on the end of your thumbsticks to extend them. What this means is that you have a greater arc of movement with your thumbsticks, which allow you to put on a higher sensitivity but still have good control and accuracy, which allows you the opportunity to scream really obnoxious and cringeworthy statements such as "Get turned on, scrub!" Number 3. Squad up. Okay, now I'm guessing that this tip might be a bit polarizing as I am assuming that you have friends here, but I'm gonna have to stick with that assumption, I'm afraid. With that being said, feel free to drop your Activision ID in the comments down below and squad up with each other. But the tip here isn't actually to just play with friends. I mean, I guess a lot of you probably do that already. No. The tip here is to squad up with people who are much better than you. Do you remember when you were a child and your dad took you out on that boat trip and chucked you straight in the sea and made you swim a mile back to shore? No? Oh, just me then. Well, the principle applies here. By playing with friends who are much better than you, you'll be placed in higher skill brackets and therefore you'll be coming up against much harder opponents. Now, don't get me wrong, this can be really frustrating, but believe me, after a few hours of sweating it out against really good players, you will have learned and developed your skills so much faster than if you were just playing in your own circles. Think of skill-based matchmaking as if it was the same as Facebook. During a political event such as an election or something, you think that everyone has the same opinion as you because your home feed is just full up with the posts that reflect your own ideas, and then when election day comes, you're left scratching your ass and crying because you didn't bother to vote because you thought that your side was going to win hands down. Well, that's how Call of Duty works. There are really rubbish people and there are really good people who both consistently get games that are 10 to 20 or similar, but you won't really know which you are until you put yourself out of your comfort zone and get put on your ass faster than the fat lady in the beach who tries to sit down on one of those three-legged camping stools. Now, this next tip comes from one of my followers on Twitter, @Woozy. Make sure you give him a follow. Also, if you're on Twitter, please hit me up. I'm @AverageOl. I'm very active and I love engaging with you guys. So here goes. Number 4. Play S&D. Now, this is actually such a good tip. Too often, players that want to get better are still sat playing team deathmatch and domination, switching their brains off and spawning, running, dying and rinsing and repeating and making progress about as quickly as if you were trying to chop down a tree with a toenail clipper. Wow, that was weirdly specific. Anyway, by playing these types of non-respawn game modes, you will learn very quickly how to value your life. This means that you will take corners a lot slower and be more careful when peeking. Once you have this skill under your belt and you get into this more tactical mindset, you'll find that when you're in respawn game modes, you'll appreciate your life a lot more and be a lot more careful, thus leading to longer kill streaks and much more rewarding gameplay. Number 5. Weapons. Right, so in my previous tips videos, I've told you to always stick with the on-meta weapons. Weapons like the M4 and the MP5, ones that have been tried and tested and are known to be the best. This is still the case for if you want to have the upper hand and get easier kills, but that's not what I'm suggesting today. If you are really serious about improving your game, then it is so beneficial to you to start using some of the harder weapons. For example, if you are absolutely lasering people with the M4A1, then it might be a good idea to switch out to something like the AK or the SCAR. These weapons are far more cumbersome and harder to use because of their slower rate of fire and the fact that they kick more than a bull having a prostate exam. But as you level these weapons up and start to get a feel for how to handle more recoil, then when you come back to using the M4, you'll be able to switch out the recoil and accuracy attachments for more maneuverable movement based attachments, which will greatly improve your ability to rush and flank and get right up in the enemy's faces. Bonus tip. Right, so as promised, I have one more tip for you lucky people, and it's to do with game types, more specifically core and hardcore. In the past, I have found that I've either stuck almost exclusively to one or the other. In World War II, I always played core, whereas in Black Ops 4, hardcore was my game mode. Now, I know that this is a touchy subject within the community, and some people treat these two options as if they were bloody Israel and Palestine, but I'm here to tell you that actually, both have their merits. What? So let's start with core. Now, a lot of hardcore players will tell you that core is for pussies because it takes a full mag to drop someone and you take a year to die, wah 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 blah blah blah. But in reality, the skill in core lies in keeping your shots consistently on target and hitting a number of shots in quick succession. So if you become better in core, then it means that your accuracy will dramatically improve when needing to hit multiple shots. So what about hardcore? Now, a core player might tell you that hardcore is awful because a pistol can kill you in one shot to the little toe and an SMG still takes shoe shots, wah 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 blah blah fucking blah. But the thing is with hardcore is that you need to get that first shot off on someone. You need reflexes like a goddamn ninja cat to be good in hardcore. So I guess what my point is to play both of these game modes to complement each other, and your overall Call of Duty experience will improve dramatically. So there we have it, 5 tips and a bonus tip for Modern Warfare, how to get better. If you guys have any other tips for me, then I'd love to hear them down in the comments. Now, if you've been watching me for a while, you know that I like to see who sticks around to the end of these little videos. So, if you're still here, then let me know by answering this question. Who would win in a fight? Captain Price, or Voss from Far Cry 3? Now, if it seems like I'm running out of these little weird questions, well, that's because I am. Anyway, that's about it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Average Joel. Peace.